So let me ask you this, because it's very intriguing that you said that your mom's working hard, trying to put food on the table. Your pops is there. You kind of fell in love with the hustle. Is that hard? You know, you seeing your father hustling and you not hustling, because that's what you're seeing. Was that hard for you growing up?
Not per se, because you know what I will say. And I fall victim to this as a adult and as a father now. I
Mm.
mean, they always say we pick up our father's traits. He was hustling, but he was missing. He was providing, but he was chasing another situation in the streets. So what happened was
Mm.
I started seeing the absence of my father. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? And that's what made me
Right.
fall in love with the hustle, because even though he was providing, and he would come home and he would try to make sure that the moms and them had everything we needed. I wanted the armor wear. I wanted the Eddie Bag jacket. I wanted the Timberland boots. I wanted the leather coat. You know what I'm saying? And I knew at an early age, man, I didn't just want it for Christmas. I wanted it all the time. You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying,
Right.
King D? I didn't just want it for Christmas. I didn't want it one time a year. You know, I mean, when Hobo came out, man, you know what I'm saying? When Dirty Lunch came up, my man, shout out to my man Milk, you know what I'm saying? Great designer, man. He not really make clothes anymore, but he doing his own thing, his food catering business. But when them things came out, DDTP, Madness, man. Shout out to All Day, shout out to Kirk Bone with the All Days brand. I wanted that urban wear every day. I didn't want it
Mm.
one time a year. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I fell in love with the hustle, because I knew I wanted something all the time, not just once.
So let me ask you this: when you were hustling and doing your thing in the street, stuff like that, what's the most amount of money maybe you made in a week where you was like, "Whoa,
Hey, this is
this
a
is
story I tell
crazy"?
all the time.
What's the
This is a
most
story
amount of money you ever made?
this story I tell all the time. And you know what though? Money fluctuates when you're in the street, because it can be good days, bad days. But I tell you, man, I used to love to play basketball as a kid, right? And I
Mm.
had an uncle that once told me, man, look, there's a lot of basketball players in the world, man. A lot of dudes is tall and can play ball. But what you gonna do if that don't work out? And I say this right here. I was a young and I was in middle school, about to go into high school. And Kennedy, I made $1,000 in one day hustling, and I was turned out from there. That's the story I always tell. I always tell everybody. I remember going in middle school, about to go to high school, and I made $1,000 in one day hustling. And I knew
Mm.
at the time my mother couldn't make this in no one day, working a 9 to 5.
Mm.
And I was turned out. From there, the floodgates was open. You know what I'm saying? I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this: what did you buy with your first thousand that you made? What did you do? Did you give it to
Hey,
mom to pay the rent?
no, it's
What
funny you
did you
say
do with
that.
your money?
Hey, Kenny D, it's funny you say that, because all my men knew. See, when I was coming up, on my generation, in my era, we didn't steal cars. I'm not being funny, Kenny D. I've never stole a car a day in my life.
Mm.
I've never stole a car. So when we was coming up, man, they had the auctions. You could run to Brentwood, you could run to all the auctions. So when I got my first 1,000, I went and bought me a little bucket. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have a license yet. I went and bought me a bucket. See, back then, you could buy a bucket and throw the tags on it and float around town. The tags don't go to the car. But as long as that key, I bet that a stolen tag charge than a stolen car charge. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
So,
Fact,
so you
right.
know what I'm saying? When I made my first, I went and got me a bucket. I went and got fresh, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real big on my two siblings, my sister and my little brother. And I put them a little outfits together. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I did, man. When I realized that the money was coming in, I said, okay, this is my goal. I always, one thing about me, I stayed with I try to keep like 2, 3 buckets at all times, man. I love switching
Mm.
up cars. That was my thing when I was younger. And it stuck with me in my later age to this day. I like having 3, 4 cars and things of that nature.